Folks, how you doing? Welcome back. It's Charlie. It is June the 4th, 2019. Oh, let me take this off. Ooh, hat head. That's always attractive, right? Looking like a hippie. 2019, about 8:30 in the morning. Just left McDonald's from having my coffee. Boy, I love that place. Found out from one of my coworkers that the manager there hires usually from Loyola Mount University. He gives young people. He loves to give young people a chance, so he's always hiring a lot of people, a lot of younger people, and especially from Loyola Mount University. Loyola Mount University is a really good school here in Southern California, so very prestigious. And a lot of most of the employees there are really very courteous. I mean, you think you're almost at a Denny's. Honestly, they come around, they ask if they can take the tray. They have table service, so if you're dining in, they bring your food to you. I mean, really, really good service here at this McDonald's. They come around with a pot of coffee, like at a Denny's or a Norm's or what have you, and ask if you want a refill, free, like that. So, really good. Great store. The manager's fantastic. Really, really cares about his customers. I mean, really, really exceptional. It's kind of rare. I've been in Pasadena and almost any other McDonald's. I haven't been to a McDonald's this nice, this courteous, and this complimentary since I lived in Wisconsin, where by the way, almost all the fast food restaurants are very courteous. I don't know. The West Coast mentality is rude, curt, and very abrupt and nasty. So, plus they haven't. It's funny. Same country, different parts of the country. People are more appreciative, and some people are less appreciative. Like here in Southern California, most people, and I say this with a certainty, most people are unhappy with the minimum wage. Oh, the minimum wage should be now $20 because inflation. Look, minimum wage is never going to be ahead of the ball game as far as the cost of living. Minimum wage was only meant to be as an entry level wage to get you going into another job or hopefully a career. That's actually what it was meant, for you to go into a career, get used to what working life is, the everyday rigors of getting up and going to work and following through and completing and everything. That was the whole purpose of a minimum wage, is to teach you how to work and to get into the working life of maybe while going to school or whatever. But it's an introductory wage. It was never meant to be a living wage. Anybody will say, government. I mean, so people think that the higher the minimum wage, inflation is always going to be a higher cost. That's just the way it is. So folks are freaking out. I personally, I'm just happy to have a job. Honestly, if I was even if I had my room and I was on disability, I'd go nuts. I'd rather work than to be on disability. It gives me a sense of purpose and fulfillment. But anyway, enough about McDonald's and everything. So, did you folks catch the video on Mark on Invisible People? It was pretty cool. Not last night, the other night. That camp is like really cool. It's Oakland's only sanctioned, self-governed homeless camp. And by the looks of it, I mean, it's fantastic. If I was homeless in that area, I would definitely do what I can and clean up my act or whatever to get into that community, because it looks very safe and sound. And like we had in our place, at our little spot, we had rules and everything that we abided by and cleaned up and tried to maintain ourselves and have some civility. Civility and homeless community are kind of a hard thing to pair up. And it's rightfully so. You have a lot of people that shouldn't be in that situation, are angry and very, very confused and scared beyond belief. To be homeless, you could be armed to the teeth, but you're still always going to be scared, because you're going to be forced to be using whatever you have, whatever it is. So I thought it was really great. Somebody asked me if the Tent City takes any donations or whatever, and I contacted Mark and asked him the same thing. So he'll get back to me, and when he does, I'll let you know, and I'll put a thing in to see if we can do that. If not, I'll try and contact Derek and see if maybe he can't start something. Maybe like a GoFundMe or something, But I know you folks would like to help as well, and that's great. That's why I talked about it, because I thought it was fantastic, and I think it's great. Especially this young man, Derek Sue. He's running for Oakland in 2020, I believe. Very intelligent. Used to be a contractor. Like so many people, the bottom hit in '08 and lost their tail. I believe Mark was also one of the victims. I know a lot of people. My ex-wife and I, we were in the bottom trying to get back up already, so we weren't really greatly affected. We were already homeless. We were living at the Rancho Weekly in Duarte at that time. In 2008, when the whole economy started collapsing, and the two Washington Mutual banks near the motel that we were staying at were closed, and people lined. I mean, you thought it was like a Bon Jovi concert or something, and people were lined up trying to get their money, and it was a pretty scary situation. We were kind of scared and looking at each other. It's like, God, are we gonna make it, or are we just gonna go back down to the bottom? And I told her, I go, don't worry, we'll get through this, and we did, But it was rough. But I'm glad you guys like that, and definitely don't just rely on me, because by the time I get home and upload this video and find out what I can, you may have already done it. So by the time you see this, it's already going to be old news. But if you see anything like that, try to contact them yourself. Try to contact Mark, or try to contact like the camp. If he does interviews with such places like that, maybe try to find the person and contacting them. I'm only saying this because I appreciate you folks asking me, but honestly, now the way the situation is, and I'm doing the videos in the morning, and I don't upload at night, you're kind of wasting your time in that sense. So, but it's all good, and I appreciate it. Any little thing that I can do to help connect or help out with anything or anybody, I'll do what I can. Busy week. We're not even in the middle of the week. Shootings. Yesterday we had a shooting at Del Amo Mall in Torrance. Del Amo Mall is a really nice mall. That's the mall I grew up. Other than Hawthorne 6, that was the mall. That was the bomb mall to go to in the 70s and the 80s. At one point in the 70s, actually, it was the world's largest mall in the world. So it's pretty cool. They used to have an old arcade. I remember they used to have bumper cars down in the old arcade. And that's where we used to go when we were in high school. We used to go and spend a lot of money. We'd start off in town at the liquor store, at the RB drugstore, playing video games, and then we'd get in my car. And how much money you got? All right, well, I got enough gas to get us there and back. Well, all right, we're going to be there for a while, so yeah. But we had a shooting in the South Bay at Del Amo Mall, so they haven't really said anything too much, so that's kind of crazy. And just before I was leaving, I saw that. Now, we've been having problems here in downtown LA with at City Hall, apparently, with people getting sick. Reports have seen insects or varmints and rodents. Excuse me. And it was thought to believe that it was the old Parker Center building, which is not too far from there, that they've been doing that. If you go to any of the buildings, especially City Hall in Los Angeles, down in the basement, the old records department, it's an old building. Downtown LA is just infested. It has been always infested with roaches and varmints. I mean, It's not surprising when you walk down to an alley, you'll see a little river of roaches migrating from one part of the street to the next part of the street. It's like, holy crap, was that the Rose Bowl parade or something? So they've been investigating, and now this morning they said, well, there's nothing there. But what it looks like, and I knew that they were going to say this, you could almost expect them to say this, and they did. They are putting the blame of rodent infestation and insects on the homeless sector. Surprise, surprise? No, not at all. When it all comes down to it, what is it, Occam's razor? The easiest answer or the simplest answer tends to be the correct. Homeless. It's not correct. It's not. It's just, well, we have nothing else. But hey, you know what? Let's put the blame on the homeless. They're not doing anything. They're just parasites. They're just there. They're not really doing anything. So let's blame them. And at the same time, LA is going to be looking into building or making emergency shelters. I saw that really quickly on the Facebook feed. I really get tired and upset, all the blame going to the homeless community. We could be knocked out of orbit, being spiraled away from our solar system, away from the sun, and it would be blamed on the homeless because they're too stinky and the neighboring universe didn't want a planet there. I swear, no, seriously. They do everything and everything to put the blame on a sector of community that isn't there willfully. They're not there, How can you say that in this country over 130,000 people chose to be homeless, chose not to pay rent, chose to quit their jobs, and chose to live out on the streets anywhere, whether it's snowing or not, any part of the country? Over 130,000 people. Really? All you naysayers out there that say, oh, people are just, they're just lazy. Over 100, it's closer to 150,000 actually, 164,000 any given night, chose to do this on a daily basis, with or without children, mind you. Really? Could you be that ignorant to really think that people choose? There is a very, 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 very small percentage of people that do choose for whatever reason. I can see that. But the great, great majority is no. It's just death in the family, loss of job, economy like 2008. Taking care of a loved one, a parent dies. Now you inherited their property. Now you can't make taxes. Now you have to find money. So you mortgage your property. Say that it all spirals. When one thing happens bad in your life, you do your best to make up for it. And sometimes you drain your life resources and then you're out on the streets. So I get upset when people say, oh, people just want to be that way. Think about it. Over 164,000 people any given day or night just decided to be homeless. Really? You really have the tenacity to really believe? I can't even. The mentality and that thinking is just so preposterous. It's not even funny. It just. But you can't. It's hard to change one person's perspective about something, especially when all their life they've always seen it this way. And sometimes you can almost see it in their eyes when they have an epiphany and they realize that what they've been thinking or doing has been wrong or for not. And you catch that split second look on their expression of their face, and you're like, I got you, I knew it. But for the better lack of reasoning, they just keep believing in what they believe. They don't want to seem wrong. Nobody does. If I'm wrong, I admit it. It's more embarrassing to when you're proven wrong and you staunchly stand there and say, "No, I'm right, right." That's I feel like a fool with doing that. I feel stupid. It's just dumb. But anyway, Oakland has that community. It's great. I would like to see more and more of that implemented. Actually, um, instead of waiting around, why don't we take some of the money that we have right now and just go ahead and start looking? Look for a lot right now. Look for property where you can have a safe lot, a safe community for homeless people to live, whether it's tents and or vehicles, or make a separate vehicle parking for homeless. In the meantime, while you're building affordable housing for such, it makes sense because then you can move people from the way they are out on the streets in their vehicles or out on the streets sleeping rough, and get away from creating an unsightly scene or varmints or rats, whatever you want to put the blame on the homeless sector. Homeless camps and safe parkies that they're doing, I think there's one in Venice that they started. I know there's a couple in Los Angeles. I think UCLA or USC has a safe parking program for students. I'm not quite sure. I have to look into that. But I think I heard about that, which is great because there are a lot of college students that really, really mean to finish school at the cost of being homeless. Those are young, strong people. Very courageous, very strong-willed. So I don't envy the young people in this era. It's too hard to be young these days. Life's not getting any easier. All right, let me see. I think I'm going to end it here, my friends. Yes. Go in, get situated, unwind, absorb the work environment, and then I punch in and go do my stuff. Oh, man. It's very gloomy. Yeah, it's been gloomy in the mornings. Today is supposed to be 1 degree warmer. It does burn off by the afternoon, and it's all blue sky and everything with some patch clouds. But I think it was snowing in British Columbia. I saw that. Someone posted a picture yesterday that it looked like it was snowing in British Columbia. This is some strange weather we're having. We're in June, and it's still snowing in some parts. I know the resorts are having our snow impact for Northern California is about 202%, which is great. So it'd be funny if it continues to snow up there. Lake Tahoe, Mount Shasta, Mammoth. I mean, that's where we need it in the long run, actually. So, all right, my friends, I'm pooped. I'm tired. Had my coffee now, so awesome. All right, you folks, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but always take care of yourselves first. Love one another, trust one another, be kind to each other. Don't take today for granted or any other day thereafter. Live for the moment, pull down your pants, and slide on the ice. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing, what we're doing, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button. Tell your friends and family about me, about us, and you see you guys, like I say, you're part of it. You're helping out. You want to help out Derek and everything. I will try and get some information for you as much as I can and post it on the link down below if there is such. So in the meantime, you guys have a beautiful Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. It'll go by fast. It'll go by fast. Anyway, but friends, I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.